So here we have, the part has arrived. Now I've already opened it just to check that it was intact and sent an email back thanking them very much. Here, a little note from Strix there, and here are the parts. The new controller, which is identical. What does surprise me is that Strix actually have got these in stock. I don't know if they have them in stock or if this was just a leftover one. But anyway, it has got the right attachment or form of switch here for this attachment. And this part, well, this looks like it goes into the base. That's very sensible. I suppose if you're going to replace this, then it makes sense to replace the controller. So now, with this, I should be able to repair my kettle. So let's, first of all, perform the test, which this part failed, and when I put it into the kettle, it didn't work, just to make sure that this switch is working and my understanding of how it works is correct. So now I've set up the meter, I've attached the black lead to the neutral terminal. Remember, the switch operates on the neutral side, which is slightly unusual, I think. So now and these two contacts, as we established in the last video, are where the element goes. So the test I was performing was to hold down this cutout, which is a thermal cutout, and test for continuity between the neutral and this contact. So let's try it. Let's put it on to resistance and then continuity. Now the switch is off. So the switch is on in that position and off in that position. So if I touch here, nothing. If I touch here, I get a beep, of course. Let's try pushing that in. Still nothing, as you would expect, because it's off. So now let's push it in, push this in, and try again. And you can see there's a reading on the meter. For some reason it's not beeping. Oh, well, it is. It's just that it's variabling a little bit, but you can see now that that switch is working. Now, interestingly, if we take the wire and attach it to the live's this one, this is the earth, and then we do the same test, it's on, live, but look, watch this, if I put the switch off, still live. So that side is always connected, which is what I found in my switch I attempted to repair. But I've noticed one thing. So this switch is good, but I've noticed one thing that's different between this one and this one. My repaired version doesn't operate correctly. Because if I put this switch in the off position, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little white. I'm just pushing that up and down. When I push this in, that little white part springs up. Now, on mine, it doesn't do that. So in other words, I think when I put it back together, that I must have put it together wrongly. So it's possible that this switch may work, but I'm not concerned with that at the moment. What I want to do now is install the new switch into the kettle. But to do that, I'm going to have to get these ancillary pieces from this one onto this one. Now, that doesn't look too bad, but this could be a little bit of a problem because these wires are right down in there and may not be easy to get off. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. Right, I'm going to try and get this out. I'm just hoping that by pulling it, it's going to come out. But yes, I can feel it going up and down. It's one of these where you've got to unlock it. Yeah. Now, in order to detach this switch, I've realised I've had to take the thing apart again. So what I'm going to do now is remove this contact. Remember, don't copy how the switch is together because it's not correct. And I'm going to remove this spring. Like that. So now you can see that these are push fit connectors. Here you can see me moving the contact and you can see that it's a push fit connector. So I'm going to take these out and keep the orientation of the switch the same. Here it's dawning on me that my assertion that the two controllers are the same is not quite the case. In particular, that lever part on the new one is different to the old one, and that plastic piece will not fit on. So what I'm going to have to do is take off the whole lever part and put the old lever part together with the clear plastic part into the new controller. Now, first of all, I've got to get the old one off, and in doing that I managed to, you can just see there's a spring there, I managed to bend that spring so that it was no longer the correct shape. So what you're going to see in the next bit is me try and remove the good spring out of the new controller and then try and get it back together with the old lever. Sorry, I missed this on camera, but I rather easily was able to get the spring out. I just took a screwdriver and then levered it from this side, and now I've freed that spring. So let me just clear up these parts and then I can take out the mechanism. So now this should come off. I need this one. So that's off now. So now will this one fit in here? And will I be able to get it back together? So that would go are these the same length at least? Yeah. so that goes in like that. Yeah. So now what we've got to do is get the spring back in. So I've got to get the spring back into here, and then we should be ready to go. So how am I going to do that? You can see it's got two notches. Don't know if you can see that. There's two. One on each side of the spring, but in fact only one of the notches goes into that top bit. The other one isn't used. After many attempts to get this darn spring in, I finally work out a way which seems promising. Here I'm going to tack it from this side. I put it in this way and I can see the little notch. So I'm hoping by just pushing up on the notch, I can just click it into place. Like that. Yep, I think that's it. Yes, so that's it. We've got the controller assembled with the ancillaries all on it, and it seems to work. So it's now time to reassemble, but remember, these two are not quite the same. The new one is an uprated part. It is 13 amps and the old one is 10 amps. Let me just show you this closely. So there you can see the new one is 13 amps and it's got a slightly different product number. It's R7297 instead of R9275. So that means this is why I think this base part has been supplied, because it's probably been uprated as well to 13 amps. So the kettle is now going to be uprated. You wonder if there was why this is the case. Perhaps there's been some problems with the Cookworks kettle and they've uprated it. First I've got to put the element back in, and I noticed last time that the kettle was leaking, so I think it was this seal wasn't properly in place. So obviously that's quite important to get right. So hopefully this time I can get it properly seated. Right, that's the kettle back together. I decided to just put the whole thing back together. Now to do the base. Hopefully this is an easy job. Here we can see the base is clearly rated at 10 amps. Don't know if you can read that. So I need to put this new one in. It doesn't actually say 13 amps on it. The part number here is different as well. There you go. The old part number is P6905. This one is P6901. You know what? I've been trying to get these connectors off. They're this type, as I can show you here, where they lock together. I just can't get it out. So you know what? And that is the earth one that I can't get out. It's going to be almost impossible to get these out here without destroying the whole unit. So I think what I'm going to do, I've been looking at the two and they're exactly the same. The width of the metal is the same. I know this one's only rated to 10 amps, but I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same. This one's probably been tested for 13 amps. So I'm going to content myself with just cleaning the contacts and putting it back. So that's what I'm going to do. So before trying the kettle, I put together the base now with the old switch in it. Let's check the resistance as I did in the first video. So I put the meter onto resistance, got open circuit with that off, and with that on I'm getting 154 ohms. So a bit larger than the element, but that would make sense. So let me just check against the live and earth. So that's okay, it's open circuit. And let me check against the earth and neutral. That's also open circuit. Now this is not the same as doing a proper electrical test, but it gives us an indication that it's okay. So I think what I'm going to do now is fill the kettle up and check to see if it's leaking, because if there is any leaks, we want to make sure it's not coming out into the electrical part of the kettle before we switch it on. Well, that seems to be okay. I filled it up with water and I don't see any leaks. And checking, there's nothing. So I think it's okay. You've got to get that seal in place. So let's set it up and give it a spin and see if it works. Right, I've got it set up. So time to plug it in and see if it works. I've got the water level up to here. Right. Here we go. Turn on. No smoke or anything, so let's try it. Yes, I can see the red light. I don't know if you can see that. And I can hear it. Just going to dim the lights because I think that red light is difficult to see. Yes, it's on. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave it to boil and see if it turns off. That's it nearing boil now. Let's see if it turns off. If it does, it's a fix. Yes. I think we can call that a fix.